Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is morning because I've just awoken. I've got a good friend, Cryptoparadyme, in the building.
Oh, hi. How are you?
How you feeling today?
I'm just watching Tesla melt down and wondering why the rest of stocks aren't really following it, but such is
Well,
life.
that brings me to a wonderful beginning. First off, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone, or
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Kwanzaa, or whatever it is you guys practice Satanism. You posted an Apple chart the other day.
Me?
Yeah,
That sounds like something I would do.
I wanted to send it to zero after seeing it.
Do you
Take
want
a
me to
look.
find do you want me to find it? I probably still have it marked up.
Can you see my screen? All
I can see your screen.
right, cool. Well, this looks just like Tesla right before Tesla went to zero. Sorry, guys, I'm sick. I'm sick and in pain. But we have chances to make it all back. If you took this Tesla trade, you're a Giga Chad. I didn't because I'm a fucking retard. As much as I shilled it and told myself I would, we're now trading at $100, like I cried about 2 weeks ago. Um, I think Apple's going to do the same thing. What do you think? Look at this.
I'm pretty bearish on the whole market in general, but yeah, I think it's probably going to go down to that 104 level.
This structure looks so very similar. Um, I don't know how the premiums sit on puts. Have you been shopping for them? Are you going to
Um,
short this?
not yet. My general rule is I don't buy puts on red days just because the premium gets crazy unless I think it's like imminently going to continue going down. But it is losing the horizontal support level. It looks like it's going to fall, and it's been like over a year since it tested that region, and it really just it feels like it's about to happen. So I might be ending up sitting with no position, but
That
cash is a position.
Yeah, that was kind of what happened with this Tesla trade because I wanted a little higher and I kind of like sat it off in my mind. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, we're not gonna get the bounce. We're not gonna get the bounce. We got like maybe like a 7.7% day, and then it was just like free fall. I think this market structure is broken already, and that's it from here. I don't think we get anything higher, and if we do, it's going to be so similar. Like the structure is the same. Tech is all doing the same shit. I haven't even looked at the Qs. So I am actually going to shop for puts this time on Apple, and I'll
It
show
all
it.
looks awful. It just all everything looks awful. Like there's no sugarcoating how terrible the market at large looks. Tesla has a unique situation because uh, Elon has obviously been in the news a lot, and that's caused people to panic. But if Apple gets any kind of news, that could easily trigger it tomorrow, for all we know. But I don't. Probably nothing's going to happen till the end of the year. That's just my guess, though.
Damn, Luzim has Apple 130 calls. Rip. Sorry, buddy. We
Well,
might have
those
to
are
head
like
you
for
out.
2 days out or 5 days out. I mean, he'll probably be fine.
Let's look at
And
the low
he
time
might
frame for
bounce.
that, shall we?
For
Yeah,
the
it's
lie,
Christmas.
yeah, that looks like it's gonna at
Yeah, it
least go to
does.
132. Like I could see that happening. Not
Um,
financial advice.
are you still trading options aggressively?
Um, I'm trying to do it less.
Good
I
morning,
mean,
JDZ.
just like everybody, I think most people took some pretty bad losses this year, and I'm just trying to be much more conservative and thoughtful with my setups. Like I nailed the last high on SPY. I was pretty happy about that, and I caught some of the move up. But right now, I think I have some lotto puts, and that's it. Like I'm really just sitting, waiting, observing.
That's fair. Um, I guess that takes us over to the awful land of crypto.
Does it?
Yeah, because if you're bearish on everything, then you're bearish on crypto.
I think Bitcoin traditionally goes minus 85%, but this is also Bitcoin's first recession. So, you know,
So, do you have
it could be
experience
worse.
trading recessions in general? Have you?
No, absolutely not. The last time, there was a recession, I was a broke college student. I didn't have enough money to care about what was going on in the markets, other than the fact that markets were going down.
Bless me. Um, yeah, I can't say I do either. I have small crypto bear market experience, but no stagflation type, everything going to zero vibes. Um, so I guess we're all in this together for the first time. Um, unless you're like 50 years old and a seasoned vet, but at that
I-
point, you're
Igor
probably.
just said, "Is Paradigm 50 or what?" He said that before you said it.
That's raw.
I
I
am
wish
not
you were
50.
50.
That would be really funny.
Yo, everyone's giving you clout on silver.
They're making fun of me because I was tweeting bearish ranging tweets about silver and it went up.
Was that a hedge your FOMO type vibe?
Well, if I ever post anything bullish about silver, I get bullied because it always reverses.
You know, I bought silver in 2020 because of you.
I'm
Do
sorry.
you remember that? Back in the mixer days, you and Dime showed me silver dummy.
me, you, me and Dime.
Sorry,
You
you and
mean
Dime.
duck?
Oh my goodness, I'm handicapped today.
You mean
My
duck or
taskbar looks so fucked up with too many icons. Sheesh. They're bullying me today on my layout. Dime, is my layout ugly?
which layout? Like the actual chart?
I guess just my window setup.
It's
Everyone
fine. I,
everyone hates it, huh?
I can see what you're talking about. That's all that matters.
All right, cool. So you're like you said, you're not bullish BTC.
I there'll be a time
Oh,
to be bullish, and the chart will tell us when it's time. But
I hate
it
pulling
ain't
up charts like this, dude.
this ain't it. Yeah, I have that same box drawn. It's
Oh,
just a
that's
bearish back test.
and then open air.
Somewhere between 12 and 14 is where I would hope to see us bottom. But if we go
Ugh.
limit down on the stock market, recession, everything dies forever. Recession. This is it's simply not going to go well. Bitcoin is an inverse to interest rates typically, and as long as interest rates keep going up, Bitcoin is going to keep going down.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking painful to see. Well, now I need to justify to myself and to my journal followers, members, friends, and family my current trade. I'm long BTC. Let me pull that other chart up. Why? I still think there's a bunch of. I know this lick up here got taken, but I mean, I guess we can scroll back and say what happened last time, right? What happened last time there was resting liquidity?
It's not even a question to me of like resting liquidity. It's that everyone is so down bad, and a third of the market just had their money stolen by Sam. It's there's no narrative to grab onto. It's just a dead ranging market that's not doing anything right now. I don't mean like dead forever, but it would need something really significant to pump us up, even to that top box there. Or
Yeah,
bottom
so
box.
so actually this is a perfect example. If we pretend this capitulation, this drop didn't happen here, and we were still in this range, we were range bound, we were retesting the bottom of the range. I actually think I went long at the retest of the bottom of the range, expecting liquidity up here to get taken. So it's kind of like what's happening now again. I could have to shift my bias because we have this whole new range, right? And I'm looking at this range again and saying there's liquidity up above that hasn't been taken. That's 18, 19, and then also on the lower time frames, there's like a point of control that can be taken probably at 17 to 17.6. I'd say 17,160 to 17,600, maybe something like this that I would like to hit before I get invalidated.
I could see the 17, but any higher, I think Sam already took that liquidity. Sorry, I'm going to keep beating the drum on that
I
narrative,
want you
but
to beat the drum for me because someone needs to. I think this
well,
is my long entry. So risk wise, it's not the best. We're talking zero point 0.8. I'd have to invalidate for this to be a proper. See, that's what I'm talking about. This. I'm not comfy. Dime. Hold my hand and tell me everything's gonna be okay because this
it's
long was not the smartest.
it's not going to be okay. Bitcoin is going to range, and you're going to start balding soon. I'm sorry.
You heard it here first. I'm fucked.
No,
Um,
the reality is like there is no point in watching crypto. Like, check on it once a month. There, you're not going to miss out on the bottom. You don't need to buy the bottom. You don't need to always be in a trade, especially in these conditions. It's just we're at a point where we have to wait for the macro to be more favorable. Like, it it's
Yeah.
just how it is. Like, I've taken some, like,
Statistically,
I've tried trading this garbage range, and it's like, cool. I made a few $100 here and there on these tiny little baby scalps, but it's not worth it. It's
so that
so
that is
aggravating.
the perfect example of why this can be so dangerous because it's such micro movements that everybody has to size up to make it worthwhile.
Yeah,
And then you get people sizing up and it's just like a crab and there's no, people get trapped on both sides.
it
I
moves on major fundamental events like CPI. We saw that pump last week, and then we dumped with the FOMC. Like, it moves on the macro events that have the potential to move the market, but it's not moving because there's no narrative, there's no trend, there's no reason, and everyone is pretty much blown out in one form or another. Even the people that, like, sold the top and have been sitting in cash, they're not buying this yet. If they were, we would see it in the candles.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, literally, if you look at Bitcoin 2019 when we started marking up, there was a change in the characteristics of the candles right before we, like, chatted up to, like, what was it, 13K or something, 14K back in 2019. But you could see on the weekly that, like, people were bidding, accumulating, and the candles reflected that. He's gonna go all the way back.
I am, bro. I keep tabs on everything.
Yeah, you just passed it, right? Yeah, right
What
there.
what 2019?
Right, to your left.
This
If you look
area?
at so if you look at the weekly, you'll see the characteristics of the candles actually change. Where is it? There it is. Like, there's no pump right now. There's no bid. There's no signal. There's nothing. It's just choppy and ugly. And then go compare it to where we are now. Like, there's no signal to me, like,
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So essentially what we want to see is
I mean, that would be it would be a bigger pump. Just, it's a different time. It's a different market.
something
Honestly,
like this. We're talking a year of pain, but this would chill out. This would shun out the echo bubble theory of GCR is a capitulation. He does see 11.5. I see 13 minimum, but the question that everyone wants to know is when, so they can capture it.
I think you're
I
better off waiting till next year. Period. At least
Yeah,
Q, maybe accumulate Q1. That would line up with, like, previous cycles. But again, we're, like, in this phase where um, Bitcoin has never been through a recession before, and it is increasingly likely that we're going to go through one soon.
ETH doesn't look much better. ETH looks better than BTC full Fed.
ETH is holding up. Last I looked, ETH is holding up a little bit better. It hasn't
Right.
marked down, but if it starts marking down here, it's going to 400. Like,
Yeah, I think that if it takes these lows, it goes with like a band-aid.
so last cycle, I think ETH went down 95%, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, and 92% would put us around 370-ish. So, I mean, it's really about whether or not we're going to repeat historical patterns or not at this point in historical times that we've never, as crypto participants, lived through. To me, it's not worth participating. It's too late to short, and it's too early to long. So better to trade other markets, in my humble opinion.
Dime. You're supposed to tell everyone here they're going to make it all back in the next 4 months, but I'm
You might,
proud of you for telling them the obvious.
maybe in 4 years, but
Yeah.
it's just Jerome is not being nice to us. There's no sugarcoating it.
I think that there's going to be low liquidity moves on shit that nobody wants to touch.
Yep.
Um, and those might be fun if you're trading small sizes and a degenerate gambler like I was in the early 2019s. Um, but I've got hobbies these days, like crying and fetal position while watching TV and sucking on my
Cry,
thumb.
crying fetal position while you ride a plane. I
Yeah,
saw I saw that too.
that too. Yeah,
I'm amazed you can land while
yeah.
doing that.
It's. I'm gonna live stream flying one of these days and like have it set up on my dash and like fuck around while with the crew on live. Um, for fuck man, I hate charts these days. I just want to.
They're all depressing. They're all terrible. That's why we post bear market content.
Why does XRP kind of look good though?
Probably because no one in the United States can buy it.
Yeah, that's probably it, isn't it? Damn, son. All right. Anybody want to send any charts and make us talk about them and ask us stupid questions that we don't want to answer?
Or you can just give us tickers in the chat and maybe we'll talk about them.
That's what I meant, tickers. Sorry, I'm still handicapped. Equities, or whatever you guys want to see. We'll talk about pigs and
You wanna look at silver just because I'm here?
yeah, you want.
You can give me. I know. I've got the dealio
Okay,
on silver. Which
let's
is
go.
fine.
Take a look at this. This is a chart. So okay, Dime. I'm not even kidding. Last stream I did, I posted the screenshots on stream of my 5-figure buy in 2020 that I have not my cost basis. So okay, so this was my thought process at the time. And I was talking to you a lot at the time in 2020. We were in the mixer, I think it was, or 2019. This breakout here was like my claim to fame that we were done with this range and we were now continuing into a new cycle. So like as this broke out in the days, I think it was like several day period. Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 days. I watched this and I was like, time to fucking shove. And then I started to shove into this, and then this happened. And I knew without a doubt that it was going to retest. So I had placed a bunch of orders here and I completely forgot and just let it go. And now I'm fully exposed, um, like bear
Good
market
job.
positioning sized. But I think I added a whole bunch in this area too, thinking that it was just going to chat up from here. Like this was like a, bullish structure, like a raising wedge or whatever you want to call it. And it
I
was
got
going to,
baited by that too.
yeah,
And it turned out to be some form of distribution. I was buying the
yeah.
lows of that range though. Like I bought a bunch of physical at the lows, and then I bought a lot of physical back in like 2014 when Bitcoin was 200, unfortunately. Um,
Where do
and
you store your physical at home? Can you text me your address?
yes, I'll do that right after we're done. Um, no, I have a vault I use like offsite that's far away and inconvenient to get to, so I don't feel
Is
like
that
an
like a
impulse.
service that people pay for to like have metals stored?
Metals, art, firearms, like all kinds of stuff.
So funny shit. Oh, by the way, we see all the tickers. We're gonna get to them. I'm just gonna chat a little longer with them. My buddy is a gold refiner and well metals refinery, and he melts all the jewelry down into bars and so forth. And I texted him the other day. He doesn't like hold. He doesn't believe in holding metals, because he's always exposed and he's turning over inventory. But I texted him the other day. And I'm like, when this started to happen, I was like, or sorry, when it started to break out into the like the 20s, and I'm like, I was like, yo, I want to buy silver, and he's like, all right, dope, and he sends me a bar for like a pretty solid price, and then I texted him like a futures contract in layman terms. I was like, uh, will you buy this back for me? Like blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, all right, awesome. I'm gonna leave you holding it. I'll send you the money. Hold on. I actually just gotta read it, bro. I'm so handicapped right now, but it was hilarious. He is like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he accepted the terms. So now he's like, I have a futures contract with him to resell him the gold and at $40 in the next 2 years. I mean the silver, sorry. And I'm gonna buy more physical, but I don't want to pick it up from him because I don't feel like holding it at my house. Yo, Igor said, "Bro, if Paradigm saw PTC at 200, he's got to be 50 on God."
I got into it when I was like 20. I think I bought my first coins like November 2013 during the first bull run that everyone started paying attention to at the 1 to 1300.
Damn, must be nice. Hey, Eric, how are you, brother? I'd like to have you on. All right, let's go through some of these tickers. I'll scroll up to the
Hi,
first by
Eric.
Igor. Fat. Dude, Eric is so wholesome. When I first met Eric in Dubai, I was so fucking hungover, and we sat down and started eating food, and it took me like 10 minutes for me to be like, wait, are you Eric Judah? He's like, yes, you idiot. And I just got up and hugged him like a retard. Fett doesn't look too bad, but I'm not going to trade it. My disclaimer and my claim to fame. a few alts. I don't know which sector they were that had this type of move over the last month.
Wasn't it
But
the AI ones with GPT going crazy?
that makes a lot of sense.
I know QNT was
If
in there.
if you are trading this, you're betting on the trend, and the trend is your friend type vibe. Um, Yo, Dime, is it still weird that I still see harmonics because of Dime? I mean, because of Duck.
Duck.
Whenever I like look at a chart sometimes and I see some fucking bat or shark, I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like a harmonic without ever using harmonics. Does that ever happen to you?
A little bit, but I have other friends that do harmonics, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I sent Duck a message the other day. I was like, I miss you. Hope we
Did he
can.
answer?
Nope.
Damn, bro, he's cold.
Super cold.
Anyways, so up, yeah, you're kind of just betting that these are the lows for the microstructure, and you're probably going to target I don't know. I would probably target not like for a crazy move. I would not try to go crazy on these types of plays. But it is Christmas. Statistically, we're bullish into the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Then you spit me some sort of statistic that everything goes up after Christmas 75% of the time.
In most years, a lack of a Santa rally is typically a signal of weakness in the market, which is
Dope.
what. Yeah, no, just
Just what I wanted.
I'm bringing all the good news for you
Yeah,
guys.
always. Yeah, if
Uh,
you're trading FET, invalidate like I don't know, dude.
is this a
Invalidate.
trade or an investment? Like, are you buying spot, or is this something you're just like, I want
Yeah,
to catch
also
a small move?
if you're shilling me charts, throw a time frame that you have an idea or something along the lines. Or
Because
I'll just tell you how I feel about it.
if you go back out to FET on the weekly, like you could argue it's starting to accumulate without knowing any of the fundamentals here. It's obviously near weekly resistance at the moment, but like it could go sideways for another 3 years, dip
Yeah.
down a little bit lower. It could run those highs down at 5 cents. 5 cents. It
Yeah.
could go a little bit lower. But if you're like trying to position for the next cycle, if we ever get one, then yeah, no, good range to buy.
Yeah.
It might suck for 2 years, but if we ever return to anything like we had in 2020, 2021, I'm sure it'll do fine.
That is a very, very
But at this point, it's really just about the Fed and the cost of money. People don't want to dump their money into random speculative bets. Like, and this again, this is without me knowing anything about what Fed does or what they're about.
yeah.
But
The thing is, over the next 8 months,
oh, don't pull up Dollar Tree. I That's a depressing chart.
really, my buddy just asked me to, a good friend of mine, IRL.
It, it
He,
it's literally up only.
dude, he texted me saying, "Holy shit, bro! What the fuck?
Dude, there's so many of these stocks that
What the fuck?"
I wish I bought like 10 years ago
You
and
know
just
what?
held
You
on
know
to.
which one is that one for me that I literally just bought more today because
You
I think
told me
it's
about this.
cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a put your life savings in this until it changes. The market structure is still up, and that's what it's going to probably do. It'll probably just fucking do this forever, and
You ever
then you
seen Waste Management?
no, give me a ticker.
WM? Dude, this one's crazy.
Why don't I have portfolios of responsible things like this, bro? This is absurd. Up
Even,
only, but this
even
so
during this market, it's still up.
damn. What a time to buy waste management back in the day, huh? Must have
I,
been
I,
nice.
I I tweeted a few weeks ago, like, if your
Wow,
entire investment portfolio thesis was I'm in the Sopranos, you would have done very well.
straight up. But like this kind of PA, I know it's relative to like down only across every other sector, but it still scares me. It's not distribution yet, but if I don't know, it's also waste management. There's no reason it would be distributing.
It's a very
Um,
well run company.
yeah. All right. Hold on. He wanted to see Dollar Tree and what? My buddy and or Meta. Oh, dude, Meta doesn't look good. Hold on. Let's go back to the Dollar Tree. Um, Intraday could punt along. Um, I don't know. You could deal with some calls at like 150, but this isn't my cup of tea in terms of trading. I don't
This
have
is
an
a
edge there.
that's more of a buy and hold thing. That's why
Yeah.
Meta is an absolute dumpster fire. They bought so much of their own stock at the top and they're now down bad. Not to mention the fact they rebranded to Metaverse at the literal crypto top.
Hated
It's
that.
just, it's so, like,
All my
we had
boys
so
hated
many
that.
top signals and we still fumbled generation intergenerational wealth.
RLC, I don't know if you wanted, I think you wanted the crypto coin button. Let's see. Oh, wow, what a wick.
Wow. Wow.
You love to see it. This, I don't know why, but someone's running this up. Could it be just a escalator up, elevator down type vibe?
It just
Um,
looks like ranging to me. Look, there's very clear weekly resistance. It keeps rejecting from there.
yeah, that's the thing. This is like a no trade ever unless funding is extreme negative or extreme in either direction, and there's some sort of like edge in open interest that you're watching. Like you can't just look at this chart and say up or down. It's just gonna do its thing. Um, Gonna be a similar vibe. Yeah, I mean, dude, every
The reality is that all these cryptos are just not good to own right now until
yeah,
something changes. Unless they're paying like a 50% staking yield or something, or you're yield farming it. Sideways crap market is probably the one time that yield farming is going to do good because you're not going to have much impermanent loss. I don't even know if anyone's doing yield farming anymore.
yeah. I think everyone got scared off. Banned. Why am I looking at this? My brother in Christ. This kind of looks like, what did we look at? That FET that had that similar, like, harmonic vibe that I said would probably target higher. This is what the other side of that trade would look like. Just everything bleeds to zero. No, no, no. Save your money. Buy a book. Go invest in yourself.
Go touch
Buy,
grass.
buy a shrimp farm. Grow shrimp.
I don't
Much
know if
better investment.
Solana is ever going to see a new all-time high ever again, just because the specter of Sam is going to be all over this coin forever until like Barry or someone else that
Yeah.
people don't hate gets involved.
Um, Are you seeing the rumors about devs abandoning and this and that? And is that
It,
tomfoolery? I haven't
it
looked into anything. I don't care
I
enough.
haven't looked into it, but it's a time and a money crunch right now. Like people aren't really getting paid to work on this stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of bad juju that goes with being involved with some of these projects at the moment because of situation.
Yeah,
I mean, we're starting to see like the signals of a bear market bottom, just
yeah.
complete capitulation, not only financially, but like in the professional development world. It's just this time it's just a little different, just with the state of the Fed and what's going on. And until a narrative returns for all markets and interest rates probably start turning the other way, no one wants to buy things. It's just reality right now.
Traditionally, you're like 70 years old, right? How long
Wow.
in previous recessions have interest rate? I haven't studied interest rates in terms of what they did in the past during stagflation and long recessions, which I probably should just look into or pick up a book. But how long, what could be the top on interest rates? Weren't they in the 20s at some point in the 70s and 80s?
I believe I think it was Volcker that did that. I can't remember exactly, but the thing to remember is we've never had a year like this since like 19. I actually have the chart here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Give me one second. So my point is simply that we haven't ever there it is. 1969, 1931. Here, I'll send this to you. This is a killer chart.
Oh,
Absolutely
what
killer.
did you send me to read today? Alpha? Was that yesterday or last night? Good stuff?
Oh, that was Oak Tree.
Oh,
Also a
nice. Okay.
good read. Mark Howard's. But
Cool.
we have never since 69 been in a situation where bonds are performing just as badly as the stock market. Like this is weird. Like this is very weird. We flew too close to the sun and we're hiking interest rates faster than we've ever hiked them in history, if I recall correctly. Um, Now I'm not like the hugest macro guy. I've been getting better obviously in the last like 9 months or so. But what's happening right now is a changing of the guard, because for the last like 12, 14 years since 2008, money lenders have been utterly fucked over by the lack of returns for just lending out money with like near zero rates. And now we're seeing the opposite happen, where people that have money and can lend it out are getting paid 4 to 7%, depending on the asset, just to sit in cash basically in a fairly safe loan of sorts. And they're going to keep doing that as long as it's profitable, especially because it means you don't have to research the stock. You literally just have to get up in the morning and pay attention once in a while. And until the yields start turning around, this is probably our new paradigm for a while. We could be stuck in this situation for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
So in
Um,
1931, when we were in a similar situation, how long did that last?
uh, wasn't that was following
Yes,
the
the Great
Great
Depression.
Recession? Great
Yeah.
Depression, I should say. I don't know. I don't have the interest rate history charts up.
So that's
And it's
something
and
that
it's
we
and it's
should
always
do.
different. It's always different because there's different conditions. It's always the same, but it's always different. There's different conditions that lead up to it, but the responses are usually fairly similar from the Fed. They hike interest rates until the price of money comes back down to reality, and it's really just waiting. Like the the most alpha thing you can do for the next year or two is probably waiting, other than like taking your short-term scalps here and there, because there's going to be opportunities for that obviously on SPY, silver, gold, oil. There's going to be opportunities. It's just don't expect Tesla to go back to all-time highs anytime soon. Like it could literally be another decade before it does.
Yeah. Um, Sushi, somebody asked about this was a great buy in the 90s because you could have invalidated at the lows for a very, not too painful inval. And then the upside is, you know, immaculate because you have the whole top of the range, so mid range to trade. Um, at $1, I'm not a buyer, um, but bearing the structure, come back to 90s and I'll buy. If you're in, I would target, $1.10 and up. Kind of like you have this little deviation out of the floor, and then you can grind upwards. Um, 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 um. What
Volcker did
else?
raise to 20. That sounds right. I know someone sent it really high. I can't remember. I don't keep all the Feds, chairmans of the Fed in my head. Sorry.
Shiraj has some very simple alpha that is so very true. Just sitting in bills for the last 10 months was probably,
Cash is a position. Treasury bills
yeah,
are also a position.
yeah. So,
There was
um,
a really crazy thread I saw last night on rentals and institutions owning homes, because why would they take a 4% risky yield on a home where they could easily lose the principal rather than just sitting in treasury bills where they can make 4.5 or possibly more in the next coming months? And it's kind of like, that's a reason for them to sell.
should we be T-bill shopping?
I mean, you should have been, but yeah. Um, there's safety in the T bills because they're not gonna beat inflation, but you're not gonna they're not the U.S. government isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Hopefully not.
That's the real ticker. Will we still be around? Um, Tesla's still collapsing. It's at 109 and 11% day. Wow, those puts
Really?
would have been those puts would have been printing.
Wow.
Um,
The market just closed like literally just now.
there you go. We have market close. Everybody can cry at home in their comfort without having
I
to
think
stare at charts anymore.
Tesla's probably going to go to 82 in the next week or two.
Yeah, this is accelerated. I
Um,
I think I said I was a buyer. Oh my god, I thought this said wrecked instead of post, and I was like, oh my Jesus, that's so aggressive. I'm a buyer at 64. Wow, this is fucking hideous, man.
keep
What?
sending you charts.
Oh, you're sending me stuff? You gotta tell me this.
I did. I
Cool.
mean,
I
this
can
is like the most brain dead head and shoulders measured move, but it's literally just there's a gap to fill that coincides perfectly with um, the breakdown of the head and shoulders. Now, will it stop there? I have no idea, but I don't see any reason why it doesn't fill that gap. If you really want to cry, look at that gap down at like 35. That one could get filled too. There's that
35.
super tiny one on my chart at least. Yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
44.
Nope, little lower.
Oh, right here.
I think that's a gap. I'm looking at the weekly charts, so
Yeah, that's a gap.
that looks like a gap to me.
Anything's possible in this new paradigm of shit going to zero. Um, if I wasn't so hungover, I wouldn't be such a doomer. Heads up. I'd have some
It's
more
good to be a
positivity
doomer
take
these
place.
days, unfortunately. Just embrace it. I've
Oh,
stopped
here's your Apple
I've
chart.
I've stopped losing money when embraced being a doomer at this point.
Yeah, that looks good.
My monitor is too wide for you for your
I
screen.
I have my wide monitor on the right, not in the center.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm just not giga based. All right, I guess I have to update my trade ideas for the trade journal I'm in. I'm currently long. I'll have to invalidate these BTC longs that I'm in somewhere and somehow. What I'll probably do is rot my brain away on Azure for the next um, I don't know 8 hours and sit here like a monkey and just watch this thing and hope that I see some sort of volume. Um, but I maybe check out some open interest, figure out what I can do. But they all sound like excuses as to just deciding where and when I'm going to invalidate the trade. Um, I really hope this shit doesn't get swept in the continue. That would be so fucking unfortunate. I kind of want to pray this holds. And if it starts to lose 16,530, then I'm out. And I'll just layer out. I won't have a solid stop. Um, and if you're copy trading me on Phemex, you'll know. By the way, big shout out to the sponsor, Phemex. Trade on Phemex for 10% back. I've got the link in the bio. Um, they keep me alive and have me streaming and giving alpha to the people. And by alpha, I mean money disappearing. So trade on Phemex if you want to support the streams. Great place. Anyways, I'm not long anything else. I'm not looking to go long anything else. Um, I guess ETH looks better than BTC for the most part, right?
slightly.
Yeah, no,
I think I got like a tiny dust fill on that wick down. Like I'm just taking scalps, but I haven't checked yet today.
ETH BTC looks pretty good. If I'm going to be completely honest, if you could trade this pair,
Nope.
um,
Nope. 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 Look at the
yeah,
weekly, bro. Look at the weekly.
no, dude,
This
that's
that looks like distribution of some
distribution.
form.
Yeah,
And
it
then on
does.
top of that, the moment Bitcoin shows any real strength, what do you think is going to happen to that thing?
Yeah. Whoopsie daisy.
I mean, yeah, on the short terms, it could go up a little bit or it could go down a little bit, but it you're you'd be longing at the top of the weekly range when you should be looking to fuck with your purple line there. Like that would
Yo,
be the
what's your Kyle asks? How are we feeling about Coinbase $7.4 billion market cap with $2 billion on hand? Now, is that $2 billion on hand customer funds? Or are we talking $2 billion in
I'm
hand?
going to assume it's their cash, but
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
I haven't looked at their books. So the reality with Coinbase, obviously, the chart is immensely bearish. Just, and I'm probably going to say that at the bottom, but fuck it, I don't care. Um, Coinbase is 90% vaporware, honestly. Like people trade Bitcoin and ETH on there, but no one's buying it when crypto is bear. They have a ton of altcoins on their books that they can't move because it's a crypto bear market,
Yeah.
and no one's using the platform because it's a crypto bear market, which impacts their revenue negatively.
I think that we're assuming things and should probably just look at their books or their earnings or any
Well,
sort of report.
we are assuming things, but it's not really a grand leap to say, oh, it's a crypto bear market, so people aren't using
Yeah.
Coinbase like that. That I feel comfortable making that statement. If someone wants to prove me wrong, then I'm fine with that. But the
Yeah.
chart is obviously saying the same thing. In any event, I like. I think Coin will do very well in the
In the next
future,
bull market for
just
sure.
because they're set up as one of the only regulated exchanges,
Yeah.
and FTX is gone. That positions them very nicely for the U.S. market, and anywhere between like 30, 15, probably a good long-term buy. Not financial advice, but it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, I want to make a play for the next cycle. If you scale down even from here down to
I agree.
if it goes down to 15, buy that.
Yeah, I'm
Like
a giga buyer at 15.
I don't think Coinbase is going anywhere. I
No,
think
it's
it's
not.
just a matter of, are you willing to sit in it for 2 or 3 years waiting for the next happening to play out?
Yeah. I think it's an investment for sure. And I still refuse to believe that Jim Cramer is serious and on anything he says in markets whenever he does say them, and there has to be some sort of elaborate troll.
I'm pretty sure that he gets paid to say the things he says. There's no way that man could have been so wrong about so much, so many times,
Yeah, you
almost
should,
immediately after. It's like he tweets as a liquidity service
yeah,
so that
legit.
people buy things. And he doesn't care. Like he might pretend to care on the air, but like he makes like $40 million a year doing his show, not to mention any kickbacks he might
Does he
get for shilling
really?
stuff. I don't know how much he makes. I know it's in the millions.
Probably, yeah. He's just like the bit boy of the television, huh?
He is the bit boy of boomer stocks.
Damn. Anything else anybody wants to see before I take off here and shut it down for the gang? Time, anything you want to talk about? Any words of wisdom? Actually, I'm going to start doing something with everyone I bring online. I'd like to hear a quote. Any quote that resonates with you that maybe you heard as a child. Doesn't have to be market related. Just something that you think of whenever things are rough or are great.
Cash is a position. Just
There you go.
that's my mantra these days. They
I
want to
like
see
it.
Matic. They want to see
Yeah, I
Matic.
just saw that.
Give the people what they want. Oh, look, it's a crypto and it looks like crap.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Sideways. Oh, look at that nice trade of yours. It went well.
Yeah, it's crazy when that happens. I'm really good at trading like shit, like momentum shit. When I see something like this and then I see this type of structure, I know to shove in it right before it moves. I'm not good at figuring out when to TP always, but I'm not the worst either. This doesn't look bad. I'd like these lows just get higher and higher on the low time frame.
Yeah, if it holds over that, what is that, 80 cents? If it holds
Yeah.
over 80 cents, that could go a little bit, but
If I was to trade this, it's the same structure I have for everything else. I would probably target. I'd say let's go along here. We'll invalidate below, and we can TP like this probably. This whole. I like this. Remember, I used to use VPVR a lot. I don't really use it anymore, but it's probably still a great area or a great thing to target. There we go. Yeah, I'd pray for something like this.
yeah,
There's your Matic.
I could see that happening. Like even in
Yeah.
these crappy conditions, like the structure is much better than a lot of other cryptos, but yeah, send it.
Yeah, if you're trading Matic, there's your trade. That's a good one. I like this quote a lot. The pain of leveling up is temporary. The pain of regret is eternal. Thanks, brother. And we got another quote from the audience. Missed opportunities are not portfolio drawdowns. Damn, that's a good one too. Anybody else
That's
got
a
anything?
great one.
I really like that one. Thanks, Ash. XMR BTC. I think this is the last one before I collapse.
That's a terrible quote.
But XMR BTC. Fuck man,
Wow.
privacy is the new trend, huh?
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess if you're trading the BTC pair for real, like 0.01 and change up here, and then you got some open air up above. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Fuck it.
I wouldn't get particularly bullish unless you get a weekly close over that 0.01 area.
There's a narrative of sorts, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's my target for XMRBGC, and then we'll do GRT. I looked at this last time; it did not look good. I don't think it's going to look any better now.
I
This is
I
the,
j- I just my firm belief is like it's not time to look at crypto yet. And then
yeah,
even once it is time, even if you buy into a Chad candle, when it's time, you'll still print money. You don't need to buy the
yeah.
bottom. You really don't.
This is the perfect example of venture capital. What happens is they unlock every so often, and it goes lower and lower and lower and lower, and maybe it's a linear vest, whatever kind of vesting it is. It's just going to have sell pressure forever. You could probably look up the vesting schedule or the unlock schedule and time it with, try to time it with the bottom. But this thing is back at ICO price. Are they called ICOs anymore? What are they called now, Dime, when they release a coin? IEOs?
I don't know. I really don't.
We're getting old, huh?
I just look at lines on the chart and go, oh, that's cool.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for my brain today. I hope you got something out of the stream. I hope Dime taught you something, and Dyme announced the winners of the giveaway. If you missed it, you got to rewatch the whole stream and find it. It was cryptic, like Easter eggs. Go DM him and he'll send you $50,000. And that is not a lie. I'm super serious. Anyways, Dyme, thanks for coming on, bud. That was a ball. I'll hit you up when I get to your place up there and we'll make something happen.
Okay. Well, go rest up.
Yes, sir. Ciao, ladies and gentlemen. Good night and good night.